Stone Pond in Barnard, Vermont is located just 9 minutes from Woodstock, the quintessential New England historic town where great restaurants, the Woodstock Inn and Resort, and great boutique stores can be found. Stone Pond is just 6 miles from the center of Woodstock.
When we first looked at the property, it was in the wintertime. It was dark and it was dreary, and they had really heavy drapes pulled. And but even then, something spoke to me about the house. We walked around and everything was so old, and I'd never been in a house that was built in 1805 before. And it just had such charm, and I just could feel almost like the people that had lived here or something, you know, just trying to remember what was going on in 1805 when people were living in this house. And I think both of us, then we looked at the property and, you know, we couldn't hardly see the pond out there. Then we looked at other properties, went back to California. We hadn't sold our house yet in California. And our house sold quickly and we had to be out of there in a matter of a few months. So we needed to come and find a property for sure. And we came back and saw it that time, and I think that was in maybe May or something like that, where everything was grown up and wild and crazy in the gardens. Then it was like we bought the house and we had to get in and move and start renovating. I think what I enjoy the most is the quiet and the serenity and the beauty, and also the warmth of the house. I wanted to make it a home. I wanted to make it cozy, inviting, comfortable, you know, to fill it with people and have our kids come and visit and our grandkids come and visit. And that, I love the oldness, the history, just living somewhere that old, but I also love the privacy and the quiet and having the windows open in the summertime and hearing all the peepers and not hearing anything else, not hearing any traffic, and just the beauty. It's just a very calming, almost a spiritual place to be. It's just got good vibrations. I always felt just really good about this house, you know, and I hate to leave it. We've been here for 21 years, but it's time, you know, it's time. We need to get back to California and be near our kids and our grandkids. But there's so many wonderful memories. It's a beautiful, warm, spiritual place. The children and the grandchildren love the pond. Coming from California, they all live on small lots, you know, in more congested areas, and California is so congested anyway. So when they come and they see the pond and they see the woods and they see the brook, they just love that. It's just like so special, and I know how they feel because that's how I felt when I first saw the property. I thought, oh my God, it's so much property. Look at this beautiful creek down here that runs all the time, and the kids and the grandkids feel the same way. They just love coming and they love going in the pond, and I have a memory of our 2 daughters and our grandson in the pond together, and he was just, I think he was about 8 years old, and he was just having so much fun, and they were dunking each other and just having a great time. So it's just all those kind of wonderful memories, and we have a lot of photos of that, and I'll never forget any of that. That was just wonderful.
The biggest thing about this property is, as Rhonda mentioned earlier, that I really like about it is how quiet it is. In other words, this is a public road here, but many days you'll get 2 or 3 cars that all that comes by here, so that it really is pretty private and pretty quiet. And you don't hear any traffic at all from Route 12. I gotta say that's not quite true. Occasionally in the summer, if there's no wind at all, you'll hear a tiny bit of a car noise, but it's coming from 2 or 3 miles away. So basically, the rest of the time you never hear a car, you never hear anything, because it's just the wild animals that are here. You hear the peepers, you hear the hoot owls, you hear the different creatures like that, and I think that's the best thing, because those noises they don't bother you. They're tranquil and you're enjoyable. But we own 160 acres, But we also, if you go off here to the west, there's the Chateauguay Forest, and you literally go 7 or 8 miles before you come to a highway, and that's Route 1. So you go off this direction here, you have thousands and thousands of acres that's not developed. It's just all open space. And that's kind of a neat thing too. So if you do want to, for example, go for a hike, like we hike up to Lucy's Lookout, or we hike up along the Appalachian Trail, which is right up through here, and you can go for miles without, and just in the wilderness, and yet it's accessible because there's, there are trails and so forth. So I think that's kind of the thing that I really like about the place here, is that you do have this tremendous natural reserve here that's just here, and it's right there off your doorstep. You just walk out and you're on it. So
the views from this amazing residence, the woods, the gardens, ponds, streams, buildings, looking out in all directions will simply never change. You own everything within sight, and it can all remain exactly as it does today, with incredible privacy and natural beauty, timeless as well as priceless. Barnard is a place of remarkable and hypnotic charm. You'll follow winding valley roads through lush green mountains to get to this beautiful spot nestled alongside a glistening Vermont state park, Silver Lake. Barnard is the quintessential Vermont farming community filled with history, peace, and serenity. But the town also offers an atmosphere of sophistication and elegance. Here, there is easy access to all of the assets of central Vermont, all of the possibilities of major metropolitan areas, and the allure of the rest of the world. Secluded and secure, but not isolated, Barnard offers the perfect balance of peace, quiet, connection, and community. It may be somewhat surprising to find elegance and sophistication in Barnard's truly rural environment, and it's the surprise that makes this serene atmosphere even more of a pleasure. Barnard has been home to many notable citizens, many generations of Vermont families, and many new residents living in concert with one another and with nature. Extraordinary privacy is afforded to all of the town's population, and it's just simply part of the culture here. The focal point of the Barnard scene is the intersection of Route 12 at Silver Lake at the Barnard General Store, where organic vegetables and delicious meats can be purchased. The post office is part of an old lakeside cottage. The store is a gathering place that was in danger of closing when the community rallied together to keep it open. You'll find some of the most knowledgeable people in Barnard sitting on the porch. Artistic pursuits are easily accessible. Artistry in Pomfret, the Ava Gallery in Lebanon, the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen in Hanover, and Barn Arts right here in Barnard. Hanover, New Hampshire, home to Dartmouth College, boasts an amazing teaching hospital and wonderful arts and culture. For those with more athletic pursuits, the Suicide Six in Pomfret, Vermont, for excellent skiing, as well as the amazing skiing at nearby Killington, Vermont. The fabulous Twin Farms Resort is also located in Barnard. The Barnard Inn, just 1 minute drive from the Barnard General Store, offers seasonably fresh cuisine with rustic country elegance, and it's a desirable wedding venue.